Okay, in the last few minutes, in the League Two playoff final, Tranmere Rovers have won 1-0 over Newport County in extra time to bookmark their place in League One for next season. This is two promotions in 2 seasons. That's really hard to do in any promotion relegation league system. But to get two promotions in 2 seasons, that's some pretty good going by a club that slipped out the Football League and ended up a couple of years ago in the National League. To bounce back as well as they have is a good positive sign for any club that does get relegated, that they can bounce back. And what that says to me about Tranmere Rovers is, one, they've got a good work ethic as a team, and they've got a good team culture. They've got a positive can-do attitude, and two, that's some good coaching there that they got there. What they've done at Tranmere is they've clearly learnt the lessons about why they fell down the league structure into the National League, and they're bouncing back. Hopefully, this bounce back is sustainable, and that they can keep going back up the League One into the Championship, and then one day possibly get to the Premier League. But they have to do it sustainably, and this is where a lot of clubs go wrong. Is they go up and down the Football League. Look at Yeovil Town; they went from the National League to League Two, then on into League One, and then on into the Championship, where they faltered, got relegated again, survived a few seasons in League Two, and then got relegated out of the Football League. Their stay in the Football League was just over, I think it was 13 years with Yeovil Town. Tranmere, this time around, have to do this sustainably. But it is a feel-good story, it is a positive story, and to do it in the last minute of extra time. I was on live stream as this was happening. That's mad. And they're not getting. I mean, the League One, League Two playoffs, they don't get the press coverage that the Championship playoff will later on, the playoff final. They go under the radar, but this is a great thing for Tranmere and Birkenhead and that part of Merseyside, because that's the forgotten bit of the Northwest when it comes to football. Lancashire, Greater Manchester, and Liverpool and Everton really get all the coverage. So teams like Preston North End, Blackburn, Burnley, Blackpool, Morecambe, Fleetwood, they will get. Man City, Man United, Bury, Bolton, they get all this press coverage, be it positive or negative. So people are talking about these clubs. And then you have Tranmere Rovers that everyone forgets about, who actually have a sizable fan base for a club at their level. And last year, when they got promoted to the Football League, the viewership of the video that I did was actually very, very high. It was actually higher than any video I'd done on Liverpool up to that point, before the Champions League final. It was higher than any video I'd done on Everton or Man United or Man City, or whatever club it was around the Northwest. That video got the highest viewership that season before the Champions League final and the transfer window opened of any football video that year up to that point. For that football season, that was the highest viewed football video that I had done, was Tranmere getting promoted back to the Football League, which says to me that there's a fan base out there that is far, far bigger than the mainstream media would have us realise, and that it is a passionate fan base, it's a community fan base, and this is a great feel-good story. And for Newport County, their story as well, from where they've come from, struggling at the foot of the Football League, to be in the playoff final in a couple of seasons, I think Newport County could take that next step and also join Tranmere in League One next year. So what Tranmere have to do now is to make sure that they stay up in League One, make it a sustainable rise up the divisions rather than overspend and overextend themselves like so many clubs have done, and then tumble back down. They have to be sustainable. They have to have a plan. And it seems like Tranmere do have a future and a plan and a direction they're going, but it has to be sustainable. But that fan base, what a day it's been. They get a trip to Wembley and they win. It's 2 promotions in 2 years. So Tranmere, thank you very much for giving me a good story, good feel-good story to talk about, because there were some things I was going to discuss that were less than feel-good. And this is a feel-good story, and it's Tranmere Rovers, and they've done back-to-back promotions. And, I said, last year, I think at the end of the video, let's see how they do. They've done pretty well. They're back into League One. They've gone up 2 tiers in 2 years. That is a feel-good story. So let's see what kind of momentum Tranmere will take on into this next season. And let's see where they end up. Let's see, are they going to be a playoff contender or in a relegation battle or mid-table? That's going to be interesting to see what happens next season. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, place your thoughts below. If you were at the game and you're a Tranmere fan, let's hear from you. And if you're a Newport County fan, hard luck. Better luck next season. We'll see you next season to see if you can make the playoffs yet again and get promoted. We shall see. But thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.